Hello and welcome to my channel, where I just realized that I can use my Apple Watch as my camera remote so I can start and stop my recording on my wrist. I'm loving my Apple Watch that my hubby got me for Christmas last year. I always said I didn't want one because I had a Garmin, and now that I have this, I got it. I have to be honest and admit, I am so reliant on this thing. We went out to dinner Saturday night and I forgot to put it on. I took a shower after I did that hike. I put a video up yesterday of me going for a hike in my woods. You can go watch it after this if you want or not. I don't care. It's just me walking around my woods. The cutest thing was last night I walked in the living room and my husband was watching that video. And I'm like, and I cringe. I can't watch myself on video. I hate my voice. I don't like I don't like my mannerisms. There's so many things I don't like about myself. I don't know. It's just been my whole life. I have just accepted that I will never like this in this lifetime, but I like who I am as a person inside of this stupid meat suit. So I hate my meat suit, but I like who I am as a person. So I'm like, the meat suit is what it is. You see, what you see is what you get with it. I don't really freaking care anymore. It's exhausting. It's been exhausting to care my whole life about how I talk, how I sound, what my body looks like. My legs are fat. I've always had fat legs. I was 110 pounds and I still had fat legs. It's just weird. I don't know. So I'm like, why bother even caring about it? I'm not wasting my time worrying about it anymore. This is not how I expected this video to start. Hi, I'm Mare. I'm doing a car vlog because I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy. I have a very busy Monday. It's not the video I wanted to make today. You know what I would love to make today? A makeup video. You know what I probably won't have time to make today? A makeup video. Don't you hate when your day gets chopped up? Like you have an appointment, but it's at 11 in the morning. And then you have another appointment and it's at like 1 or 2. So you can't start, and this is if you have a day off, okay, because I'm off work today. I said I'm taking time off because my hand has to heal. I'm not booking any dog rooms this week because this has to heal up. This is bad. It has steri strips on it. I still think I should have gotten stitches. My husband's like, oh, you probably didn't need stitches. I'm like, I really think I needed stitches. Stitches would have helped it heal faster. And I probably won't have a huge scar like I'm going to now from taping this thing together with steri strips every couple days. Anyway, so I can't get this wet. I had to take a shower with like a dishwashing glove on with tape around it. And it didn't matter. This still got wet. And then I had to take it off and redo the whole thing. And oh, I was so grossed out. Oof. Dr. Jamie says it'll probably be a week before it's healed. So I'm hoping by this Saturday it is pretty much closed up enough. But I don't know, when I cut the tip of my finger almost clear off with a knife making juices. What was it in February, I think? Anyway, that took weeks for it to totally close up. Weeks. Like 2 weeks. 2 weeks at least for it to totally close up. I'm getting too warm in here. Anyway, it's quiet in here, but Lydia is in the front seat in the crate. So, appointments. Yeah, I have the day off, but don't you hate when you have a day off and it's not really a day off because, oh, and if I keep doing this, I have a new nose ring in and I'm getting used to it. It's not a post, it's like an open ring and there's a little diamond here. It's not real. It's like a cubic zirconium. This wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like a diamond. And then there's this one down here. So you put it through and then you screw this bottom one on. Took me like a half an hour to get this thing in. And well, mostly I got it in right away just to screw the little bottom one on. It's so tiny and the threads are so small. Now I'm paranoid and I'm constantly like trying to tighten it and make sure it's like tightened all the way. Cause oh my God, if this comes off, I'll be so mad. Not just because of the money, but this farm is for sale. Wait, that's for sale. See, this is when I wish I could be a real estate investor because I'd buy that place. It's right next to Rainbow Mountain. I would turn it into an Airbnb and for Rainbow Mountain so people could stay at the house and just walk over to Rainbow Mountain in the summer. That would be so cool. Obviously, it would be very LGBTQIA plus friendly. It'd be like completely, it would be my gay best friend Angela's dream house. That's what I would make, and then like everyone would want to stay there. She has great taste, by the way. She lives in Southern California, and she's a jewelry designer now. Why can I not say it? Aurelia Atelier is her jewelry company, and she was an assistant to a jewelry designer, and she kind of branched off and went on her own finally. So I should link her below so you guys can all go follow her Instagram and her Facebook page and stuff. I want to get something from her just to like show support, you know. I really should buy some jewelry from her. I keep looking at the website, and a lot of her style is not my style, but I know she would help me design something. So I'm trying to think of what is something I would want to be a custom design that I can have her do. So I'm working on it. Lydia is gassy. Oh my God. Help. So appointments. See, I'm sticking to the topics today. The two things I started talking about. Oh, that's a leaf. I saw something in the road. It looked like a big spider. It was a leaf that was like this. Not a big spider, leaf. If it was a big spider, I wouldn't have hit it. I would have gotten it out of the road. Yes, I would have somehow. There's a snorting Lydia in the crate next to me. All right, so where was I? Broken up schedules. So you have the day off, but then you have to make appointments, and you're like, I want to get a lot of things done. Say you're like, I want to declutter my closet, or I want to start working in my garden all day. Well, you really can't. I mean, you could, but the problem is all the things that you want to do are like really involved, and you need a good 5, 6, 7 hours, and you don't want to have to keep stopping to do the thing. Like, I wanted to work in my yard today. I have leaf blowing to do. I have my husband built, I have these like big storage tote thingies. I'll show them in another video. But my husband built these big storage containers for me to go next to my shed so I can put all my planting, my gardening stuff in them. Really nice. He got me these really cool things. And we can keep the hoses in there during the winter, stuff like that. So they're just outdoor storage things. We have them on our patio, and we keep all the cushions for all of our patio furniture go in them in the winter. So anyway, we have 2 of those out there now, and he built these 3 storage closets that are behind his shed on the side of, they're not against my studio, they're against the back of his shed. So my studio's here and his is here, and they're in between. So those are really cool because I can keep like gardening gloves in there. They have shelves in them. The other ones are like big chests. Anyhow, he built those yesterday, and he helped me kind of get them in place. And I said, well, I don't want to really put them here because there's all these dead leaves and stuff. I'm like, I want to leaf blow all this out, and I want to blow all the leaves out of here before we put these like permanently in place. And then I said, you know, I really don't even want to put them here because what's going to happen, I know 100%, we're going to put them there and 100 mice are going to live under them because it's right by the woods. And the last time I had a shelf there, like a storage shelf behind my chicken coop, and I had a bunch of my old planters and things. Y'all, I was cleaning those out. I was screaming. I'm not afraid of mice, but it startles me when I pick up a pot and mice come flying out of it. I was like, ah! And I flung it, and it went into the woods. Mice flying everywhere. I mean, there were so many mice living on my shelving unit inside of things. So where did all those mice go? They're probably under my shed right now, which is next to it. So they're probably living under there or finding other things to build nests in because they scattered, and a bunch of them ran under my shed. And I'm like, great, now they're going to be under there. And I wish I could have like a barn cat kind of situation, like a cat that just lived in my yard that would eat mice. First off, you don't know that the cat you're going to get is going to be a mouser or be really good at, they might just like laying around and they might never chase a mouse ever. The other thing is, I can't do it because, as you guys know, if those of you who watch my vlogs from the past couple of years when I was farm sitting for my friend Allie and her one cat went missing, she had 2 cats go missing. There are coyotes and there are foxes. There are all kinds of animals that absolutely want to kill and eat your cats or small animals that are outside. There's too many predators in the woods. So I'm like, no, we're not gonna get a cat, because it's just gonna, I know I'm signing up for heartbreak, right? And for what? To catch a few mice? Maybe, if it wants to catch mice. So I'm like, I can't do it, because I know I'll fall in love with the stupid cat that lives in my yard, and then something will happen to it, and then, hi, I had enough heartbreak in my life. I'm not adding to it. I'm doing as much as I can. That place is still for sale. Look, it's a place I talked about in my last vlog. KW. I'm just looking, taking a closer look at it, because there's a red light right here. I kind of want to take a picture and call the guy and just ask. I could probably find it on like Zillow or something. I need to look it up. I'm going to look it up. I'm just curious. I also want to know how much that house is, how much they're asking for the one that's next to Rainbow Mountain. Not that we can buy these, but I'm just curious. I'm like, you know, I just like looking. I just like to see what are they going for. Our home value has doubled since we moved here 18 years ago, which is a good thing. Completely doubled. Actually, it more than doubled, because they just assess like the house sitting on the property and the property itself. That's not taking into account all of this work we've had done. We're getting new windows and doors this spring. The guys were just out to measure for the doors. All the doors and windows get replaced this spring. So if you've been watching and you saw last year me getting my dream witchy house and having all the black siding put up, now we're getting a black front door, a black side door, a really cool sliding door that goes out to the deck that's all black framed with black hardware on it. It's going to be so fancy and nice. And all of the windows will now be black framed out in black with nickel hardware on them. Very excited about it. Mostly I'm excited because, hello, has everybody's electric bill been insane? Our windows have not been replaced since the house was built in 1999. I know that it's not going to help our electric bill a ton, but a lot of our electric bill I know is like leakage through the front and the back door. You can actually see light. And yes, I've tried putting that foam shit. It doesn't work. It peels off. It never stays. I freaking gave up on that a long time ago, that stupid foam and stuff. And I even did, years ago, I even did the thing of like putting the saran wrap shit around the windows. It's not even worth the trouble. It's such a pain in the butt. It would peel all the paint off. It took forever. And then I have to take it all down. I just can't with all that stuff. It's such a pain in the butt. So I just complain about high electric bills instead. Now, I don't think those all have that much to do with the electricity being super high. Honestly, I really think that the electric bill is just mainly high because they're ripping us all off now. Because I've talked about this before. My electric bill being over $500 when we have a wood stove that heats our house, like, make that make sense. If you're using a wood stove that's zero electricity involved, I feel like they're charging us that to punish us for not using their electricity. Like, they know we're not using it for heat, so they're going to charge us anyway just because they're mad at us for using a wood stove. These are the conspiracies I come up with in my head. So, yeah, today is a day of, I can't get the leaf blowing thing and get my things put into place, probably done. I mean, I could try, but I'm going to be a mess, and I'm going to get all dirty. I got to take another shower. I just took a shower. So here's my day today. And what's frustrating about this, and I know a lot of people will understand this because I see people talk about it, and I hear people talk about it, and in my daily life, I have friends that talk about this. When you have to have appointments and they break up your day, so your day doesn't have a nice flow to it. You start doing something in the morning, you got to drop everything, run to an appointment. Then you get a nice flow going again for 2 hours. Then you got to drop everything, go to another appointment. That's where I'm at today. Lydia is going for a checkup because I really don't think her meds for her Cushing's they're working, but I don't think they're strong enough. Just my opinion watching her. Her skin is not better. Her appetite is not better. Her drinking water and peeing is slightly better, but not like what I would expect. And she's been on it for like 5 weeks now. So after 5 weeks, I feel like we should be seeing something. Her skin is actually worse. And the vet warned me, like, well, we have to, that's the thing about Cushing's. I told you guys, it's expensive. Every time we get these stupid tests, it's like $300. And we're gonna be doing this and I know this is sad, and as a rescue person, I hate saying this, but I can see where people have to give up their pets or give them to a rescue when they get something like Cushing's or Addison's. Because fortunately, my husband and I can afford it. I can do a couple of dog grooms, and it'll, well, more than a couple, probably like 4 or 5, and it would pay for Lydia's appointment. But it's like these appointments for blood draws, the reason it's so expensive, it's a specialty blood draw. She has to take her meds. 4 hours later, she has to go in, and after it's like in her system, they do blood work and they see where her levels are at with whatever levels that is doing something with. I don't know all the details. I read about it and it just promptly went right out of my head because I have too much on my mind. And then they wait, and then they test it in another hour. So they see how they're monitoring this like these levels in her body with her Cushing's. It's the crap, I know what it is, I can't think of the word. Why can I not think of the word? Oh, it's so frustrating. Well, it's the pituitary gland thing. So anyway, whatever that is, it's not a hormone, but it's something like that they're measuring the levels and how the meds are affecting the levels over time. So I gave it to her like this morning. She's going in, they're going to do the blood draw, the first one. Then they're going to wait a little bit, then they're going to do the second one. And then they're going to have the blood all together, and they send that into the lab. It'll be a day or so, and then we'll get the results. And the vet will say, yeah, keep her on that dosage, or we need to increase the dosage. I will be shocked if she says that they're not increasing the dosage. I mean, I'm not a vet. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm expecting to see too much too soon. Maybe this takes a few months. But what sucks is like every 4 to 6 weeks, we have to go and do this now. And I mean, I'm not just annoyed because I have to do it, because that's mean. I mean, she's my dog. I would do anything for her. I'm more annoyed like for her. She doesn't like to leave the house. And they told me when she's in the crate there, she gets very she just keeps spinning around and bumping into the walls. She doesn't have any eyes. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know what's going on. So it's just a lot to put her through at 10 years old, blind dog, and she's got to go and get this done all the time. It's just not fair. That's all I'm saying. No disease is fair. And I think, when you're a person and stuff happens to you, we understand why we have to do things. We understand why we need to go through these annoying tests. People can say, well, this is what's happening to you. We can't explain that to dogs. I can't be like, hey, Lydia, you've got this disease. You got a tumor on your pituitary gland, and now we have to take you to the vet. And I know it's annoying, but you have to sit in this crate, but then you get to come home. She doesn't understand, so it's just frustrating all around for all of us. The money's frustrating about it. Fortunately, like I said, it's not setting us back, and we have less dogs now than we've ever had. So, and we'll do anything for her, and I want to get the meds right. So obviously I'm going to come back if I have to come back every 3 weeks, we will. But it's more just the frustration of, God, why her? Why does this happen? Why with these diseases? Why with everything? I wish there was a way to bring her early in the morning, but I can't. That would mean I would have to... She has to have the pills like 3 to 4 hours in her before they can do the test. So I would have to, say they want me to bring her in at 8 in the morning for this test. I would have to be giving her meds at like 5 in the morning. Like actually at 4 in the morning, because they said 4 hours is ideal. So I'd have to be giving her meds and feeding her at 4 a.m. to come in and do the test. But you can't just do that one time. She's gonna be like she's on these meds like every day for the rest of her life, as long as she lives. She can't go off of them. So if I start giving them to her at 4 in the morning, I have to work it down to that. It's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's ever had an epileptic dog or a dog that's on like gabapentin or pain meds or anything, but like daylight savings time always messed up the meds with my epileptic dog. I would have to like go in 15-minute increments building up to it to change the time so that it wouldn't trigger seizures in her, because she had to have her meds every 12 hours. And I know I could like shift it back or forward. Like, okay, well, the clock fell back, but if I give her her meds at the same time, say I gave them to her at 8 in the morning every day, and it's fall back, I'd have to give them to her at 7 in the morning every day. And sometimes that would work and sometimes it wouldn't. When I had her, I was working a regular job and I had to give her her meds at a time that worked before I went to my job. So anyway, it's a pain in the butt. So it's something where they have to be on it on a schedule. It's not like I can just go, oops, oh, well, just give it to her whenever. So that's kind of not fun for us either. I got up this morning, gave her meds early, and we're at the vet office. I'm sorry if I sound kind of just bitchy in this, but it's a little bit of a ranty, bitchy video. Oh my God. It is now 11:32. It took, we had to sit in the waiting area half an hour. They're like behind schedule. So I just jinxed myself talking about all this, because now I just lost a half an hour of my day that I am spending 6 hours in my car. 6 hours in my car does not make me happy, guys. I love my car, but I don't want to be driving around for 6 hours on a Monday. I know there's worse things I could be doing. It's like first world problems, honestly. Like first world problems. But I have stuff I really wanted to be working on and doing, and it so sucks when your day is all chopped up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, this isn't like me going, oh, my life is terrible, blah, blah, blah. I have like the easiest life ever, probably. Not the easiest, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty happy. It's pretty awesome. I mean, who gets to like give dogs baths and haircuts for a living and get paid for it and play with dogs all day? That's a great life. And then I screw around and make goofy YouTube videos, and I can do it as a hobby and not have to rely on it or be scared if my videos aren't getting views, which the views on YouTube are so down. Honey, the land. Oh my God. Views are terrible on YouTube anymore. I don't know where anybody went. Let's talk about this dead internet theory thing, because I swear my friend Jeremy was the first one to send me the dead internet theory videos like a while back. I've been going around for a couple of years now or more. I don't know when they first came out. If you don't know what the dead internet theory is, it's that the people who are on YouTube, well, let's use YouTube as an example since that's where we are. But this is especially a thing on YouTube that people talk about the dead internet. They're like, okay, on YouTube, there's bots and there's fake accounts, but there are not as many real living people watching and commenting as there used to be. So the theory is that most of the people that are keeping YouTube going or whatever, or it's all like bots and it's all like fake, like AI created stuff. So eventually, I just saw a story. Where did I see that? It was like horrifying, and I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was believe it or not, I think it was a Shane Dawson conspiracy thing that I saw. I don't usually watch any of his content, but if he has a conspiracy thing, sometime I'll check it out. And I saw that he had a conspiracy thing about AI, like social media for AI. So some company was saying they're starting a social media site, and all the users on the social media site are not real people. They're all AI. So all the accounts are fake people. All the content is AI created content, which, that's half of Facebook now anyway, if you're honest. And starting to be a lot of YouTube. The AI thing it's like a snowball. They started rolling and now they can't stop it. And I hate it personally. I absolutely hate it. For what good it does, and I will admit there are some good things, good applications for it, but they have no control over it, and that's the problem. You can't say, oh, it's just the greatest thing ever. Is it though? I mean, there are things it can do. For like medically, like looking for DNA sequence coding, looking for ways to cure cancer, things like that. Excellent. I'm 100% for that. doing things like taking someone's photos and using them to train AI, or using them without the person's permission and putting their face on a different body, or having like the Tom Hanks thing that came out where they had an AI Tom Hanks and he was doing an ad for something, and people were like, oh, well, Tom Hanks says it's good, we should buy it. And Tom Hanks had to come out and say, that is not me, that's fake, that's AI created. I never endorsed this brand. I never did an ad for them. Like, that's some bullshit. Like, they're stealing. It's another form of identity theft to me. And to me, it's not, maybe even worse. Like, okay, identity theft, they can get your money, right? They can steal your money, steal your cards. You can stop the cards, you can stop the money. But once somebody takes your image and makes you say something online that you never said, and it's out there on the internet, you can't get that back. You can never stop it or get it back. It's been out there. It's out there. I will use the example that is the grossest example that I've seen, is people taking someone like Eugenia Cooney or other influencers and doing like OnlyFans of them with AI as if they're modeling with nothing on, and it's not them. That is disgusting, y'all. That is so gross. For that reason alone, I'd be like, you know, let's work a little harder to cure diseases and maybe not have AI. I don't know. I say that as a woman. Men, I don't think I'm not being anti-man with this, but men, I don't think you understand the violation that you feel, like even thinking about someone doing that to you, how violated you feel. It's like, it's just so disgusting and so gross. So I don't know, I get very like rankled about that kind of thing. But the dead internet theory is that basically there's nobody online anymore, and there is. I mean, I'm here. I know that some of you that comment, most of you that comment, you are real people. I assume you are. Are you? Are you though? Janet, Lori, there's a bunch of people. Sonies. I mean, I know there are people who have been, okay, first off, there are people who have been following me since before AI like started taking over everything. I know y'all are real people. Danny, Awkwardly Gothy, there's a bunch of people. However, the dead internet theory says that there are more people who are not real people than there are real people anymore on social media. So there's more bots and AI on YouTube than there are actual real humans watching and interacting with the content. And that the slippery slope that it's on is eventually there's going to be like small creators that just get no attention and no views. Hello, like me, because I'm a real person, where you look at these AI channels, right? Like, look at any AI channel. I did this over the weekend too. I did my research. So don't come for me and say you don't know what you're talking about. Over the weekend, I fell down a rabbit hole of AI created channels. I started Googling, is this channel AI? Is this channel all AI content? Is this channel real? Is this channel a real person? Things like that. Okay, so I'm doing that, and they're like, this is AI generated content with an AI generated voice. All the content is AI generated through whatever. And it's funny because it's like the AI knows that these channels are AI. Like, if you ask an AI, the AI Google search, is this channel AI? They're like, oh yeah, that's for sure AI. And I got this channel is definitely AI answers. But I went beyond just asking on Google. I went on Reddit, and I went on very specific niche things. The one that I was on the most was r/askphysics. And it's a bunch of physics nerds, of which my husband is one. He studied physics in college. I told him it's way above my pay grade. They lose me at the alphabet being numbers. They've lost me. Anyway, I basically almost failed math. So I go on r/askphysics, and I found a thread that was, has anybody had just a ridiculous influx of AI generated YouTube videos suggested constantly to them? And everyone's like, oh my God, yes. And they go, I keep saying, don't suggest this page, don't suggest this, don't suggest this. And I keep getting them anyway. And for every one or two that you say I'm not interested, like 10 more pop up. And the big one that I was watching was Richard Feynman, who's a physicist. My husband said, oh my God, it just so happens that he's one of my favorite physicists. And what they're doing is they're creating AI things. Okay, Richard Feynman, first off, he's been dead a long time. He's gone, okay? But these channels are doing complete AI channels, and they're making an AI of Richard Feynman talking about physics. The worst one I saw, and I think this guy died in the 70s or something. The worst one I saw said on this physics channel, this guy said, I nearly screamed when I saw the AI Richard Feynman talk about Bluetooth, because Bluetooth did not exist in its current form. He was talking about things that didn't exist when he was walking around on this earth. My husband said, yeah, it's like the meme of George Washington or Abraham Lincoln saying, don't believe everything you read on the internet. I said, yeah, exactly. And then somebody said that they saw one of Richard Feynman, a fake Richard Feynman, talking in an AI voice, and actually had the nerve to say at the end of the video, make Richard Feynman, a brilliant physicist who does not deserve this kind of treatment, I hope he haunts the shit out of them, made him say, oh, and if you like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm like, for that alone, you should be banned from YouTube. That is disgusting to like take someone that's a super well-respected physicist who is like a genius in his time, and still today everybody's talking about him. If you don't know who he is, he's a very interesting dude. I fell down the Richard Feynman rabbit hole this weekend, and I started talking about Block Universe with my husband, and I think he was happy because I talked to him about something that's on his territory instead of I talked to my husband about stuff with me, and he checks out after 5 or 10 minutes. I started talking to him about physics, and boy, did he pay attention to me. He even looked away from his video game a few times. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so I fell down this rabbit hole, and then I started looking at these channels, right, and how many subscribers they have. And I'm like, how many? And these are purely AI channels, 100%. It's some dude sitting in his house feeding into AI, hey, make me an entire video talking about blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay. And they make it, and the person uploads it, and boom, they're done. These people have been doing this, a lot of these channels that I researched, and I went into their About This Channel section. I found a bunch of AI channels, went into their About Them section. Most of them were started in 2025 that I was looking at. I think there was one that was like in 2024. They were all made in 2025, all of these channels. All of these complete AI generated channels all have like between 25,000 and 150,000 subscribers. And I was like, who is watching this slop? Who is watching and listening to this absolute trash? Like, if you run this through any kind of like Snopes or stuff, they're putting facts out saying that scientists and physicists have said this, this, and this. And it's like, no, they never did. They never, in fact, said that. The AI is saying they said that because the AI doesn't know. And everybody's trusting this and thinking it's facts, and it is, in fact, not facts. I suggest you go on r/askphysics if you want to see examples of this. Because these people are clearly like going, oh my God, in this guy's video, he said this, this, and this. The actual quote was this. It was from this lecture at Stanford in 1974 or something, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, we know AI gets shit wrong, like, all the fucking time. But these channels are popping up. And my question is, how and why are these 100% AI generated crap, absolute trash junk channels where you can't trust anything they say? Because if you go through and you watch them and you fact check them, in the first 5 minutes, you can probably find shit wrong. You can find dates wrong. You can find names wrong. Sometimes they don't even pronounce names right, which is the worst. It's like, you can tell it's a lazy person making AI slop because they don't even fix the way the name is pronounced. It's embarrassing. They'll use like pictures, and it'll be like a picture and they're saying it's one thing and it's something totally different. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. But this AI slop is everywhere on YouTube. And I think the thing that just pisses me off the most is I've had my YouTube channel for 18 years. I have been doing somewhat regular. I'm going to say regular because, I mean, I seldom go a month or something without posting. I might post once in 1 month, but it has to be like something major happened, like when my dad died or my mom died or things like that. Like major life things where I'm like, look, I can't get on a camera right now. I can't. And some people feel good going on camera and talking to the camera in those times, but there are times that I did feel okay doing that. But if I don't feel like I want a camera in my face when I'm dealing with something, I'm not going to do it. And I would rather be honest than pretend I'm something I'm not. And I am not a person who's going to come on here and pretend everything's okay or whatever. And so, again, today, this is a little bit of a ranty kind of thing because I just fell down this rabbit hole yesterday because I watched a video that was they called it a Richard Feynman tribute channel, which means it's AI. And they said it is labeled as AI. And on YouTube, you are supposed to label it as AI. So you go and you find all these AI channels, and there's just, God forbid you watch one of them, in your homepage, you'll get suggested like 10 more. And then you have to go, I don't want to watch this. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And to undo it out of your algorithm is a nightmare, trust me. I've been getting them, I'm on day like 3 or 4 of still getting this slop suggested to me because I watched one Richard Feynman tribute. I will say, and my husband agreed with this, they didn't try to replicate Richard Feynman's voice, and it was not a video of him, a fake video of fake Richard Feynman talking. It was just this educated sounding British voice. And there were a lot of equations. It was all told on blackboards with equations. And my husband's like, okay, well, that's not as bad. And I said, yeah, that's what I thought. But I still, it makes me question everything I just watched. I watched a half an hour video. I'm like, well, then I had to go and do a shit ton of research because it was a topic I wanted to talk to my husband about. And I'm like, God forbid I talk physics to my husband. And I mentioned Block Universe, which was talked about in this video. And it was specifically a video about what happens after you die. And it's a long story. I don't want to go into it. Anyway, from a physics perspective, not from God, not from religion, not from a spiritual thing, but from purely physics. If you follow physics, we're made of atoms. Atoms they don't go poof and disappear. They dissipate. They might mutate into other things. So I've always been fascinated about what happens to us as far as from a physics standpoint, we're a bunch of energy and atoms. That's what we are. We're made up of energy and atoms, right? At the smallest level. Okay, once your body's gone, that doesn't mean the energy and the atoms are gone. Fascinating. If you want to fall down a rabbit hole. There are doctors studying this too, and physics people studying this, and it's really fascinating. I've studied it for years because I've always said I don't believe that we're just gone, but I also don't believe in like the afterlife like most people think, because I like looking at it from a physics standpoint, because physics is facts that I can believe in. I'm kind of like, I always say I'm like Jodie Foster in Contact. That's me, if you want to know how I think. I'm like, if I see this physics equation on a blackboard, they've proved a theorem over and over and over. Like atoms don't just disappear. They don't just go poof and, oh, you died, so everything that made you up just disappears. I believe that everything, all that electricity goes poof, and we dissipate into everything around us in the universe around us, and we become part of a larger whole. But where we were and our imprint, the energy imprint is still where we were, and that's why it's still on people, and that's why we feel grief the way we do. Anyway, I could go on and on about this. I am fascinated by the subject. I never talk about it on here, but there you go. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now. And if you want to research it, look up physics and death and physics, but be very careful because there's a lot of AI slop. So I'm talking to my husband about this, and he goes, wait, where did you watch this? And I tell him, and he's like, are you sure it wasn't all AI generated? I'm like, oh shit. So then I start Googling, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is an AI generated channel, da 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 da. So then I look, I Googled the channel name specifically. It's called The Feynman Way. Shout out to them. We don't hate that channel. It could be worse, but it's AI generated. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, get a blackboard and draw on it yourself and draw these equations yourself. I mean, I feel like it's so lazy, as I do a car vlog, which is also lazy, but this is me. I'm not AI generated. This is not someone else's voice. This is my voice, my thoughts, and me doing this. I'm not going, hey, Claude, come up with a script and a video for me to talk about how I'm annoyed that my day gets broken up with appointments, and how I have body dysmorphia, and also about how it's not fair that my dog has this disease and she's blind and she doesn't understand what's going on and I have to put her through all this, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not putting that through a thing and doing a script about it. I'm sitting here talking and letting the thoughts flow organically. I don't know. I guess my whole point being the dead internet theory that I didn't think I really believed in, I'm starting to really believe in now. I used to put videos up on Sundays, like years ago. When my channel, like, I don't even know if I hit 1,000 subscribers yet. I would put a video out on a Sunday and I would get so many views on it. I put my video up yesterday, and the first 2 hours, it got 0 views. So I took it down. I unlisted it. And I'm like, screw this. I'm not just going to throw this out there. I mean, I went for a 3-mile walk and filmed this video. And yeah, I wanted to do a 3-mile walk, but I gave myself the excuse, if I do a video of me walking, I'll get out and walk, because I don't know, it was freezing cold. I didn't want to go, and I'm like, well, maybe if I film it, I'll go. So it was good for me to force me to, like, I had a reason to walk, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, if I film it, I feel like I have more of a reason. It should be enough of a reason just for me to go and get the exercise, but plus I thought it would be really interesting because I found these deer antlers, and you guys know I feed the deer in my yard, and like they come around and steal my chicken food and everything else. So I thought, well, this is kind of cool because I always talk about the deer in the background of my videos. You see them in the window sometimes, whatever. Cute. So I put it up, no views. I have never had that happen that I can remember, where in 2 hours I had 0 views. And I'm not blaming anybody watching it right now. I'm blaming the algorithm and what YouTube is turning into. That is some bullshit. That is ridiculous. On a Sunday, and I even Googled what's the best time on Sunday to put up a video, and I put up a video exactly when they said. Nope, nothing, nada, nope. So I unlisted it and I set it up to do a premiere later on Sunday. I'm like, okay, well, let's try premiering it later in the afternoon. And my views on it, 17. The last time I had 17 views on a video was 5 years ago. I don't know, before my channel was monetized. So, and I keep getting these videos popping up suggested on my YouTube, like YouTube's changing everything, the algorithms changed, blah, blah, blah. Everybody talks about views being down. Mine have been down a little bit, but now mine are like bottoming out. They're like plummeting. And I guess the thing that's more frustrating is like, okay, well, I always said I was going to do more makeup. I did 2 makeup looks last week. I think they are probably the best makeup videos that I have done on this channel in years. I used all natural light. I used my phone. I was right in the camera going, this is the foundation I'm using. This is what it's doing. Just being really honest about it. I do everything that everyone says, everyone, meaning they say they want. They. Which, now is they a bunch of bots? All the people, alleged people on the internet saying, we want real people. We want authentic people. We want people who are honest. We want natural light. We don't want all studio lighting. We want people who have lines and wrinkles. We want to see what this looks like on real skin. My question is, how many of those people asking for that are real people, and how many of those are dead internet bots? Because where is everyone? Where is everyone? The thing that got me thinking of this today is I just watched a Robert Welch video this morning, and he talked about how people were telling him, oh, ears popping, going up my road. You know where I am. Robert Welsh just mentioned this in a video today. And it went up yesterday. So today's Monday. This video went up yesterday. I was watching it this morning while I was getting ready to go out. I was listening to it as I was feeding the dogs and getting ready. And he said, everyone asks me to do more tutorials. Everyone says, where's the tutorials? We all want tutorials. Everyone wants tutorials. No one does that anymore. And he said, I do makeup tutorials every Monday on my channel. Every Monday. That's what everyone asks for. They are the worst viewed videos on my channel. This is Robert Welsh saying this. So he's backing me up here. He's backing me up. If someone like Robert Welsh, with how many subscribers he has, and how many people, and how good he is at what he does, and that we do know he's a real one, okay? He's a real person. He's sharing his honest opinion. He's funny. He's down to earth. He's not trying to be something he's not, right? As far as we know. Disclaimer, I get a good vibe from him. I don't get the shady, fake vibe from him. I never have. Then again, I have followed Robert Welsh since like 2020, something like that. Maybe even 2019. Can't remember when he started on YouTube, but when he started on YouTube, he was a small channel. He was in with all of the little indie makeup people that I watched back when I started watching him. He was like along with like Batty Bean and Audra Rains and Amy Loves Makeup and oh crap, what's her name? Teresa. Oh, Teresa is dead. Like all of them. Robert Welsh was like one of us, kind of. He was still bigger, but he was in that genre, and then he just kind of kept getting bigger and bigger. And then he got together with James, and they started, his twin brother, and they started doing stuff. Anyway, now he is where he is, which is awesome. However, he's the one who grew and got this popular across all different platforms. And yesterday he said, I'm doing a tutorial every Monday. That's what people said they wanted, and they are consistently my lowest watched videos. They are my least watched videos, my least interacted with videos, but that's what everyone says they want. So I'm like, okay, so what do people want? Because even Robert Welsh is doing what people say they want, and nobody's watching it. Not nobody, but I mean, it says a lot if he makes a comment that how small views he gets compared to his other videos. What are your thoughts about this? It's a weird subject, and it makes me really start to believe that YouTube is turning into like the dead internet graveyard. I feel like there's like a whole like 5 or 10 of us here on my channel who consistently talk and comment. And I mean, seriously, guys, it's less than like 20 people who consistently watch and comment on my videos. So I'm kind of just to the point where I have to not even care at all, because the odds of real people finding my videos and watching them seem like it's diminishing every day. And my question is, how long do I keep putting my energy into this? And the reason I'm bringing this up is Peter Mon just said in a video that I watched, that I think he filmed over the weekend, in his I Don't Give a F era, he said, it's not what people think. It really is about where do I put my energy, and where do I put my time and energy, and what matters to me. Doing his videos, look, he was lucky. He built up his viewership back when the internet and back when YouTube was booming. It was like boom and bust. He did his drama channel. He built up his viewership and his subs back when it was booming. And he's retained that pretty much. And like he said, he only gets like maybe 100 new people every once in a while. Every once in a while he gets 100 new subscribers. So even his channel not growing anymore. So if his channel is not growing and he gets a lot of views, how can somebody who has a channel as small as mine ever get noticed or ever get views? I feel like it never will. I feel like I'm stuck where I am, and nobody's ever going to watch anymore, and nobody's ever going to, I'm not going to grow anymore as a channel. I feel like where I'm at now is as far as my channel is going to go. And I'm not even saying I'm like mad about it. I'm saying, like, I'm admitting factually, I think because of what has happened to the internet and YouTube and AI, I think my channel's doomed, as far as I don't even think I'll ever hit any big number of subscribers, because I don't think there's that many people here anymore. Maybe I've just been watching too many dead internet theory videos. But I feel like, where is everybody? And I remember back in the day, like 2020, 2021, I would watch Peter Mon's videos and I would be reading through his comment section. He would have so many comments. You could never get to the bottom of it. You could just keep going. People, and they weren't bots, they were people. Now, you go to his videos and it's like 49 comments. It's like, he used to have thousands. I mean, some of his videos, there would be so many comments. I'm like, 49? I went on one of his videos that he posted over the weekend. I think it was his video he posted Sunday. When I went to watch it, it had 49 views. And I'm like, dude, where did everybody fall off the planet? How does he only get 49 views? And I got 17. So it's actually, there is something happening there, because if you look at his subscribers and then he gets 49 views, it's more now. I'm sure people are catching up on Monday. But in me, where my subscribers is and getting 17, they're kind of like, they align. And I'm just like, what the heck, man? Where is everybody? What is going on? Are people just like not wanting to watch YouTube anymore? I don't know. And my question is, I always said I'm going to keep doing this, but I'll do it for me and for like the 10 or 20 of you who I know are real people and I appreciate you. And some days when I don't want to post, I think of Lori, or I think of Danny, or I think of Sanitz, or Adrienne, or Kim, or a few other people, Janet. I think of like my regular people who watch me, and I'm like, why do I even care? Why am I even posting? And I do actually think of you guys. And I'm like, I know Lori loves watching my videos. Shout out Lori. And I do it. Or I know Danny loves watching my videos, and Danny and I have a lot in common with like losses and things like that. So some days I do it for you purely, and some days I do it just because I feel like doing something. Some days I do it like because I'm just trying to pull myself out of something. I don't know. But the question becomes, how much of my energy do I really put into this? Because I've been uploading, I don't know if you guys noticed, but for the past, I uploaded I don't know if I uploaded last Tuesday, did I? I don't know. I've been uploading every day and I'm exhausted. I have spent less time with my husband. I have seen him less because I'm sitting in front of my computer from 2 to 5 hours editing videos, making thumbnails. So I look at, I'm like, I just lost 5 hours of my life with my husband. And I have to weigh it out. Like, what is really important in this life? How long am I going to be here? And am I going to say, I'm never going to say, oh, damn, I shouldn't have spent that time with my husband. Like, I'm going to regret. I don't want to go, I want to have the least amount of, I know I'm going to have regrets. Everybody has regrets. I don't believe in that no regrets thing. I have lots of regrets. Regrets are good. You learn from regrets, right? They're not all bad. But I don't want to regret that I spent all this time on my YouTube channel and be on my deathbed and look at my YouTube channel and be like, how many hours? If you look at my videos, look at how many videos I've put up. How many hours of my videos there are, and how much time away from my dogs and my husband, or just being out in the world, like experiencing life that is. And some days I'm like, what the hell am I doing, dude? What am I doing? I just need to go out and go hiking or go on my kayak and not talk about it. I don't know. I'm just starting to question everything because of the dead internet theory now, and the lack of, and I'm not one of those people who, I'm not going to come on here and complain about subscribers or views. I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying something weird is going on. I'm making observations about it, and I've accepted, like, my channel is what it is. I don't think it's ever going to grow. I don't think it's ever going to get big. I don't think I'm ever going to have a viral moment. I think viral moments, unless you are AI, or it's having a viral moment anymore, is basically equivalent of going and buying a lottery ticket and winning. That's really what it is, because the internet is so oversaturated now. Back even 2-3 years ago, you could go viral so much easier than you can now, because the oversaturation and not just with people, but with AI. The AI has made it so oversaturated that we are now not just competing for attention amongst other living people. We're competing against attention with freaking computers. And that's where I say I'm out. That's where I say I draw a line and I'm out and I'm done. I'm not going to sit here and like compete with like AI for views. I'm sorry, I am above that. I have things that are beneath me. That is beneath me. I refuse to compete with AI videos for viewership. And so I just feel like I'll keep popping in here a couple of times a week or as much as I can, and when I have something to say. But to push myself like I push myself, sometimes uploading every day, if I had built up my subscriber count back in 2020 and 2021, or even like 2016 to 2018, if I had built up a real human subscriber count back then, I would have no problem doing what Peter Mon does and doing multiple channels and uploads every day, because he knows he has real people watching him. They've been watching him since 2016. If you start a YouTube channel now, it is so much harder to get to a point where you can do what he does. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it is a million times harder. And I know, because I've been doing it for 6 years. I've been doing it for 6 years, and it's exhausting. And it really is. And it's disheartening that all this work, everything I pour my heart and soul into, because I never do anything lightly over here. There are videos I have just poured my whole heart and soul into. And I put all of my humanness into it, and all of my thoughts and my emotions. And to know that there are channels that have 25,000 subscribers, that there's not even a person talking. It's an AI voice. It's an AI written script. And it's an AI generated cartoon that you're watching. Everything about it is fake. And they're getting all these views. But then a real person, nobody wants to hear from. I just find that really sad. I find it a sad commentary on society. I don't know. It just, like, what happened to connection between people? Just, like, it almost seems like people don't want connection between people anymore. Deep thoughts. This started out as a really weird vlog, and now it's gotten even weirder. Anyway, that is just a lot of really deep food for thought on a Monday. But my summary of this is, my day is totally screwed up. So I'm a little frustrated. I have to pick up Lydia at 1:30, and now it's noon, and it takes me a half an hour to drive there. So literally in an hour, less than an hour, I have to turn around and go back. So I have an hour to do something, and I have to turn around and go back and get her. Then I come back home, and then I have a few hours before I go to class with Prudence tonight. So hence the lazy content, me bitching about AI and dead internet video. No, I've never really talked about it, but it's funny because I think years ago, like when Jeremy started sending me the dead internet thing, I really was pushing against it. I'm like, I don't think that's real. I think there are real people out here. And now, with seeing the way views are dropping on YouTube, for not me, I mean just for everyone, the way channels that I've watched for like 10 years, I've watched their views drop. And I'm like, dude, it's not just me. It's these big channels too. It's everyone. Something's funky. Something's weird. Something smells weird on YouTube. Something smells weird. Smells fake. Smells like burning computers. Smells like computer hardware overheating. It smells like using up all the world's water on AI. Don't get me started. I'm a tree hugging goth hippie, so don't get me started on that. So where I am with this is, for the foreseeable future, I will make videos when I feel like making videos because I have something to say. But I think the veil has been, Jeremy will be happy to know this. No, not really. He'll probably think it's kind of sad. The veil has been lifted, and I don't believe anymore that there are just tons of real people on YouTube wanting to see real people doing tutorials and makeup content and honest reviews and all that. I think there's a handful of us, and we need to all stick together. I love you. Let's all stick together. But it's like the handful of us here, it's like we're Jack and Rose trying to fit on that door at the end of Titanic and not slipping off. And like all the bodies around us are all like AI bots. And there's like us trying to cling to life here on YouTube and like going, we're real people. We're still here. At this point, I'm like, you know what? Bring on the bots on my channel. Maybe if I have like 2,000 bots on that, honestly, I watched another video. I wish I could remember the guy's name so I could link it. But there was a big scandal thing about Nick, I think, what's his name, Nick? Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys. I said I was going to end, but I have to tell you this. Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys, this kid who does this channel, and it's called Bot Watch or Bot something. He finds channels that are buying bots to up their views or up their subscriber count and everything. It's so interesting. So here's how he was saying, and he proved it with the Ned Fulmer thing. So Ned Fulmer put out this video. He has like 1 million subscribers or something, but there were only like 18 comments on this video. And this kid who does all this background research and looks into all these things, I had to turn my car off. He said, okay, here's the thing. If you have 1 million subscribers and only 18 comments, then that means you have botted subscribers. You have bot subscribers. And then if you have, it's the same thing where if you have you have like very low subscribers, but you have a shit ton of comments, you botted comments. So it's kind of easy to find because it makes sense. Like if you have 1 million subscribers, wouldn't you think at least you have a few hundred people commenting? Like your hardcore fans, hundreds of people commenting? No, he had 18. And he goes, where are the other, 990,000 people who watch him or whatever, so he did the research and he's like, he clearly bought subscribers, because then he was looking at his subscriber list and how many of them were like, there's no picture and they're just a bunch of numbers and letters. Bots. Yeah. And I swear to God, some days I'm like, I want to do an experiment, and I would tell you guys, I'm like, guys, I'm botting this video as an experiment, as a social experiment. If I have a little bit of extra money, I'd almost want to like bot one of my own videos and like let you guys know. But YouTube they frown on that. So I don't want to get in trouble. That's the problem. But I would love to do it as a science experiment. I would love to buy viewers and comments for a video and see how it affects my channel in real time and be like filming it live, like what is happening. But YouTube gets mad at that and they could just like take your channel away. So I can't do that. But I think they should allow someone to do that to prove how this is like going totally south and totally haywire with what we're being presented on YouTube. Because they won't let us talk about it, or they don't want anyone to do it. But because maybe if we do it, we'll prove what a scam all of that is. What a scam all the people who have millions of subscribers, what a scam they really are. And millions of views and all that, because they're all bought. And then that's what we're being served, and that's what's on your For You page and everything. Look, and my point also is, if everyone, they say they want real reviews, they want real people, they want natural light, they want makeup tutorials, then where are they in our views and our comments? Where are they? Because they're not there. They're not on Robert Welsh's. And if they're not on his, they're not anybody. They're not real people. They're not anywhere. I am starting to think that all those things saying, we want real people, we want tutorials, I'm starting to think they're all bots. I swear to God. Because they're not watching the videos. They're not commenting on them. And nobody's subscribers are going up when they do the things that people are allegedly asking for. People, I use the term lightly. People, which are most likely AI generated comments. So I don't know, this is a deep subject and it's a rabbit hole. And if you're not very tech savvy, this might've gone way over your head. But you can do your own research on it. If you don't believe me, I've been researching it for a long time now. I've been reading about the dead internet theory and watching videos about it for years, since Jeremy started sending them to me. And like I said, I think I was naive. I really think now 2023 and me was very naive in thinking, oh, the dead internet, that's just some weird conspiracy thing. You're being paranoid. And now I really think it's true. I really do. Because no matter what I do over here, no matter what content I make, like, I know you guys on a first name basis. I can tell you everybody who's going to comment, right? It's always the same people, which I love, and I appreciate you all so much. And I will say that over and over again, because you are the real people. You are like, maybe you're the only real people here watching this. I don't know. Because you're the only ones who say anything. And the views are not super high. So the views and the comments are lining up. So I think it is real people watching my videos and commenting. But I think my videos in the past year have improved so much. I think I got a new microphone. I got, my studio, my camera, my lighting. I am constantly trying to improve on my channel and make things better. That changes nothing. I will tell you right now, it changes nothing. It doesn't matter how much money you spend on a camera or where you record, or if you record sitting in your car or in your backyard or on your kitchen floor or in $1 million studio, doesn't matter anymore. I really don't think it does. I think it makes zero difference of how your channel's going to do. And that's just being real. That's why I've been filming on my phone. I'm like, I'm going to film on my phone. It's a pain in the ass to film on my camera. I have trouble with it. I'm not spending another $2,000 on a camera. Unless this channel pays for it, I'm not doing it. And this channel is never going to pay for it. I won't say never, but probably not. I'm not spending money on a camera that I only use that camera to make these videos. It's not like I use it for anything else in my life. So I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a camera that I only make YouTube videos with. So I'm just going to use my phone from now on. And so far, I think the makeup videos with my phone are so much better than my camera. If you watch my videos from last Wednesday and Thursday, let me know if you agree. Then go back and watch videos before that, any makeup videos before that. Compare them to last Wednesdays and Thursdays and tell me that the camera, the filming on my phone doesn't look better, because I think it does. And I'm using an iPhone 13 Pro Max. And it works better than my couple $1,000 camera. So, you know what? I'm not buying another camera. When my phone dies, I'll get a new phone and I'll continue to film on my phone. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where I film. It doesn't matter what I film. Nothing changes. And I'm burpy. And like I said, it's not just me. I'm not complaining about my channel or myself. I don't want it to seem like I'm like ungrateful or bitchy or like I hate doing this. No, I like doing this. I'm a yapper. I like yapping about this stuff. And I'm fascinated by things like the dead internet theory and how bots work and how are people like manipulating the system and doing this. And I am firmly like, that's gross. I don't want to do that. But I'm so curious about it at the same time. Like, what if I did do that? I almost want to start a fake channel and make it completely botted as an experiment, but I don't want to get this channel in trouble because I work too hard for it. So like I said, I don't know what to do. It sucks. I wish somebody could do a real, true, down-to-earth expose on bots on YouTube and not get in trouble for it. But that's just not the way YouTube is set up. So you're going to get in trouble for it, which is dumb. It's the exact same rule. It's the exact same logic or lack of logic that says people can commit horrible true crimes and things like that, but if you try to talk about these things, you get demonetized. But the people who did the things don't have any punishment from it, but the people who try to bring light to it and educate the public about it get punished for trying to educate the public and talk about these things that happened. There's no logic to it. There is zero logic. How can you learn from history? How can you teach anything if you're not allowed to talk about it? YouTube. Stupid rules. And then I go, why am I here? I'm going to start wearing my PewDiePie hat that says, why am I still here? It's how long I've been watching PewDiePie, since before he moved to Japan. I've been watching him a long time. But I have the hat that it's in yellow. It says, "Why am I still here?" He sold that line of merch when the pandemic happened, and he was supposed to move to Japan, and then he couldn't, and he was trapped still. He had things in motion to move to Japan, and then everything froze. So his merch drop was, "Why am I still here?" So I got the hat because I thought it was hilarious. And I got Jeremy a couple of things, and I got a phone case. Anywho, yeah, I'm going to start wearing the "Why am I still here" hat a lot more. Because I don't know. So basically, I'm still here for the 10 of you who always comment. And the 17 of you who always watch my videos, or 20 or whatever. But I can't promise anymore, at least right now. I uploaded every day, and that was fun. But it's a lot. This week, I'm not working. I'm not grooming dogs this week, which is my job. I'm taking the week off because of this. This has to heal up. It hurts like hell. It still feels like there's a knife stuck in my hand right here. It is not healed up. It's going to be until Saturday until I can get this wet or let it or do anything with it. So I'm going to try to do, it's going to be hard doing makeup videos with this, but I might try because I think it'll be funny. Like, it'll be a let's do my makeup with my injured hand and see how messed up. Because I can't hold brushes and things properly. So it might be kind of funny. That might be a funny video. So I want to do that just because I think it'll be goofy. And that's the kind of stuff I like to do, is like, hey, let's see if I can do my makeup with my hand wrapped up like this and cut open and trying to heal with steri strips on it. That's the kind of video I want to make because it's stupid and it's fun and I enjoy doing that. What I'm not going to do is pressure myself. Like, I'm never going to be a Peter Mon. I can't. I love that for him. I'm happy for him that he can do that. And Peter Mon will go on videos and say, I don't know why these influencers can't upload every day. That's their job. Well, he never has said that to me, and he never would say that to me. In fact, he says, I can't believe how busy you always are. But when he says that, I always think that I'm failing by not uploading every day. Like, I'm letting Peter down by not uploading every day. And I know he would never say that because he knows I send him pictures of me in my grooming salon because I'll be watching his videos and I'll have him on in the background and my iPad will be there and I'm grooming a dog and the dog will be looking at him. I'm like, look, so-and-so's watching your video with me. And I send him pictures of, oh, I'm catching up on your videos today. Here's the dog I'm grooming while I'm, the dogs I'm grooming while I'm watching your videos and catching up. And so he knows I have a real job. YouTube is not my job. And that's why I started saying that. I know I say it at every video, but I think it's important I say that. I have a lot of life outside YouTube. I wish I could do 3 or 4 channels. I wish that's all I had to do. I wish I had time to just do that, but I do not. And as I've been doing more videos again, my Master Gardener volunteering has fallen off so bad. I am so behind on my volunteer stuff for Master Gardeners. I got into it again and then I fell off because I focused more on my YouTube channel. And my Master Gardeners, I worked a long time for that. And I have so many volunteer hours. And it's out in the world, face to face with real people, teaching them about gardening and how to grow their own food and all this stuff. And I've blown it off because I'm focused on my YouTube channel. And I'm starting to feel really bad about that. So, and with it being spring, I really need to participate more in the Master Gardeners and I need to work on my presentations, which I have blown off because if I try to work on a presentation and do a video the same day, that's about 18 hours out of a day. I'll get no sleep and I can't do my job and I can't take care of my dogs or talk to my husband. It can't happen. There's not enough hours in the day for me to be a dog groomer who has my own salon, be a full-time YouTuber with 2 channels that I'm uploading on every day, take care of an acre plus of land, chickens and ducks, my 4 dogs, my husband, cook, do laundry, clean the house, do all of that. And then I have no time left over for myself, which is why my self-care is always in the toilet. My self-care is terrible. I barely do anything for myself. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm glad everybody thinks my skin looks okay because my skincare routine has been hit or miss for the past couple of months. It's been very hit or miss. I'm lucky if I even put moisturizer on some nights, and I'm like, oh crap. Well, oh well. I'm old. Who cares? I'm done trying to fix it. Like I said at the top of this, I ain't trying to pretend I'm young anymore. I'm not trying to like, let's make myself as young as possible. I will use sunscreen and keep my skin healthy. I'm not chasing youth. I'm not chasing all this crap anymore. It's exhausting. I don't know how many years I have left, but I'm not going to spend them chasing these arbitrary numbers or these arbitrary goals that I didn't even ask for. Like being skinny enough, like having no wrinkles or no lines, looking young enough to do makeup content, uploading every day so I don't look like I'm a lazy ass who just uploads every once in a while. I am anything but lazy. My husband's like, you never sit down. I'm like, I know, I have too much to do. There's nights like I'm about to start crying right now. There's nights that I almost start crying. I go, I didn't get enough done today. I had so much to do. I still have so much more to do. And that's me every freaking day. And it's exhausting. And I feel so much pressure to upload on here every day. And nobody's doing it to me but myself. And I know, like I said, I almost feel like I can't watch Peter's videos for a week or two just to give myself a mental break. Because watching him just makes me realize what I'm not doing. And Peter usually makes me feel better about myself, but sometimes Peter makes me feel worse about myself. And I know Peter would be the last person to want to do that to me because he's a great guy and he's really sweet and he likes me and we talk all the time in DMs. But sometimes, like, I have trouble watching Peter's vacation videos because I'm not going on a vacation this year. I have 0 vacations planned this year. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere with my husband. In fact, my husband's working more hours than ever. I never get to talk to him. I never get to see him. We don't do anything together barely except for go to a dinner. We went to 2 dinners last week. That's all we did together. 2 dinners in a whole week. That's all we did. And it just, you know, it's that thing where social media makes you feel worse about your life. Like people say, I don't go on Instagram. Oh my God, I'm roasting in here. I don't go on Instagram because it makes me feel worse because I see what everybody else is doing. That's kind of how I feel right now, watching a lot of content. Like Adam McIntyre traveling all over the world. And he just leaves his dogs with dog sitters or his parents. It's like, I could never do that. I said this before. I went to Paris and it wasn't Paris. We were in Dublin. The second day we were there, I was bawling my eyes out on the bed. And I'm like, I can't enjoy being here because I miss the dogs. All I can think about is my dogs. I want to be with my dogs. There is nowhere in this world. There is no island. There is no vacation spot. There is no day spa. There is no ocean, beach, getaway that I would rather be in than with my dogs. That is just who I am. I know people don't understand that, but unless I can take my dogs with me, especially Enid, if I can't take Enid with me, I can't enjoy a vacation. I don't know if I'll go and have fun on a vacation. Like we went to Paris and we went to Dublin. I had fun, but all I thought about was my dogs and I wanted to come home to my dogs. And then I got home from Dublin and I said, I'm never doing this again. And my friend was like, what? I go, I'm never traveling again without my dogs. I can't do it. All I thought about the whole time is this is nice, but I want to be with my dogs. I was messaging constantly with my dog sitter. She was sending me videos and pictures. And I'm like, I am not a complete person without my dogs. And that's just me. That's just who I am. My life has been dogs for 25 plus years. They are an integral part of my sanity, my well-being, my mental health, my physical health, everything. I am not me without my dogs. So for me you take me away from my dogs and I'm half a person, honestly. I really feel like I'm not a full person. And people might say that's messed up. You should seek therapy. You know what? I know exactly what it is. That's why I call Enid my emotional support dog. And believe me, I can be alone. I'm sitting out here right now. I've been sitting in my driveway for an hour and my dogs are in the house right now. It's fine. They're right there. But I don't want to be a half a world away from my dogs. I don't even want to fly and go to Florida. I'm not going to Florida anyway for other reasons. But I don't want to go to a state and be like Arizona or California to see my friend. I'm not going unless at least one of my dogs can go. Like Enid really would have to go because Enid is totally my emotional support pad. I am not okay without them. And the thought of like, there's no vacation I want to go on that is more important than being with my dogs. So when I see people traveling around and going on vacations everywhere and they just leave their dogs and they're like, I know their dogs are with someone they trust and their dogs are fine and they're happy and they're taken care of. That's great. But the dogs are not with you and you are their person. And there's this quote that I read and it said, I told my husband and he quoted it back to me because I couldn't get it right. And it said, dogs are a portion of our life. To us, a dog is 10 to 20 years of our life, right? That's how long they're in our life. So a dog that we have, they're a portion of our life. To a dog, we are their whole life. From the time they come into our house to the time they pass away, we are their whole life. Us to them is the equivalent if we had a dog that we got when we were born and it stayed with us until we passed away. And that's so like changed the way that I don't know why I never really thought about it that way, but I've been thinking a lot in time references lately. I think it's Carlos Rossi. He's another physicsy kind of guy. He did a book called Time. Benadryl Claritin. Read the audiobook. Benedict Cumberbatch read the audiobook. But it's a really good book. But I think that was his name, was Rossi, I think. I don't know. If I remember, I'll put it in the description box. But it's a mind-blowing book. And it's just about the nature of time. And I've been like really thinking a lot about that. Especially, my whole life has really changed since I lost my dad. And I don't want to cry. The way I look at time, the way I look at being away from my dogs, the way I look at everything. And it's like, I don't want to travel. I want to be with like my dogs and I want to be at my home. Because my home is my home. Like the world is out there. Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty. Travel. I don't really care. I don't care. What is important to me is my home. And I always said I'm making my home into a place I don't need a vacation from. And my ongoing joke is I did that way too well because I never want to leave. But everything about vacations, everything about travel is anxiety to me. The payoff is not worth the anxiety. I can't stand like being late. I can't stand when I get somewhere 3 hours early and then it's another 3 hours of waiting. I'm a Capricorn. We're very meticulous about these things. I don't like places that are people-y. I don't like crowds. I don't like lines. I don't like crowds and lines. I don't like claustrophobic things like planes. There's so much I don't like. I can travel if I can get in my Jeep with a tent on top and get on the road with my dogs and drive out into the mountains, into the woods. I will do that. As for any other travel, it does not give me any kind of joy. It really, Paris was great, but all it did was make me wish that I lived in Paris, and I cried because we had to come back here. And my husband understood, and now my husband wants to live there. So we're stuck here. And it's like, I almost wish I didn't know. I almost wish I never went to Paris in a way, because now I know what I'm missing. You know what I mean? Like, and that sounds weird, but I've wanted to live in Paris since I was like a little kid. My mom never understood it. I was a little kid. She's like, how do you know about Paris? I'm like, I don't know, but I think I was meant to be living there. And I've said that my entire life. I finally went there. I cried when I stood on a bridge on the Seine. And I said, I wish my mom could see me right now. I wish I could tell my mom I finally made it here. And the sun was going down. And I said, I really felt like my mom was there with me, because she knew that my whole life was about getting to Paris. And I wanted to live there. And when we had to come home, as much as I love my home, I would uproot all of my dogs and everything. If we could afford to live in France, I would uproot it all and go there, and my husband would as well. And we are 100% in agreement on that. Like, we agree on that completely, to the point where, as I might have mentioned, I mentioned in a video where he surprised me one night. He said, I've been looking at apartments around Paris and they're not that bad. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, and that's not to say we're moving to Paris. We would get a second home there. We would keep this house. We would get a second home there. And I'd probably spend like 6 months out of the year in Paris or something like that. But that would be a YouTube channel. That's the channel I would get 1 million subscribers on. I live in the United States 6 months out of the year, then I live in Paris. That would be my big channel. And that would be a life. That's how I would like to spend my retirement, honestly. That would be really cool. Especially if I could be a dog groomer in Paris. 6 months out of the year I work in Paris, and then 6 months out of the year I work here. That'd be so fun. That would be like a intercontinental traveling private dog groomer. That would be so badass. That'd be so cool. Then the people would be like, who am I going to see the other 6 months? They'd be mad at me. Like, I don't know, your dog's going to look like a mess for 6 months, but the other 6 months will look really good. No, I don't know how that would work, but I mean, right now that's just a pipe dream. But yeah, I mean, it's like when I go on a vacation, I feel like I enjoy it, but then I'm like, well, now I know what I'm missing. You know what I mean? Do you ever feel like that? It's weird. And I'm not negative about vacations. I mean, I appreciate like that I could go to Paris, and I appreciate that I could go to Dublin. Dublin was really not my thing. My husband loves it. And he's like, did you love it? And he was so excited to share it with me. I'm like, it was okay. And I felt kind of bad. I was like, I feel bad saying this, but I liked Paris a lot more. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Dublin was all right. It's a city. They speak English. It's historic. I loved the whiskey bar. That was the main thing. The whiskey exchange, I could go there every day. But that's also bad because then I would be drinking whiskey all day, every day. That's not good for me. I would not want to do that. I'm not a drinker, but when I was in Ireland, I bought like $1,000 worth of whiskey. It's insane. That's not normal person behavior. So it's not good for me to live in Ireland. I'd probably become an alcoholic. I mean, seriously, it would not be good. I'd probably become a hiker. I'd hike all over the country. And in between that, I would be drunk. So not good. Not good. I would rather just stay here and not drink much. I have one sip of something occasionally. But I've pretty much stopped drinking completely at this point. So what else? I don't know. I just have been on all kinds of tangents. This is just a long thing, just kind of spilling all. It's kind of like a brain dump, I want to say. Let's call this video brain dump. I don't know. I got a lot to think about. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I need to take a social media break and maybe just not watch videos this week. Not watch anybody else's videos. I love watching Peter's videos, but it's so... Now, here's the thing. I'm so happy for him and Alex that they can go on vacations and do everything they do. But it makes me question my life choices. I'm like, what have I done to myself? What is my life? Like, I have created a life where I can never do that. My husband and I have created a life where we will never have that kind of life. Like, we'll never be able to plan like 3 vacations a year and go on them. We'll never be able to just like the last year, they were on vacation. They're like, oh, we're going to stay an extra 5 days. We could never do that. You do not understand. When I say never, I mean never. We could never do that. My husband's job would not allow that to happen. Our situation, we live out here with like no family, nobody to help with our pets. We could not do that. We don't have anyone who could live at my house. I'd be like, hey, dog sitter, I'm going to stay out an extra 5 days. There's nobody, guys. There's nobody. My dogs would be in this house alone, feral and starving and living in shit and pee everywhere. And my chickens would all die because nobody would be here to feed them and give them water. I have a life that will never happen. I can never just go, I'm going to pick up and go on a trip. I can't just go, hey, I'm just going to go, let's plan a trip next weekend and fly out. We can't do that. And my husband's job really doesn't allow it. He's a part owner in his company. He can't do that. He is like the buck stops with him. He can't disappear. And he can't just work remote. He doesn't work remote. He's got an office. He has clients. His job, the nature of it, I can't talk about it a lot, but the nature of his job, it is impossible. It's damn near impossible to get him to go away for 4 days, let alone 7, let alone go, hey, let's stay an extra 4 or 5 days and do this. It would never happen. And part of me, it makes me really sad but then on the other hand, what we get, the trade-off we get from that with the life we can afford, I guess the sad thing is, for the first time in my life, I can afford to travel anywhere I want in the world. And I can't. It's like, I think I said this in another video too. My best friend's, Jamie's mom said once, you either have time and no money or money and no time. My husband has money and no time. And I actually have time and money, but not really. I have money and no time because I can't just up and leave my husband with the animals because he works 70 hours a week. He can't do it. I went to Michigan to see my dad for 4 days. I'd come home and my husband would hug me and be just like almost crying, going, oh, thank God you're home. I don't know how you do this every day. And he would always say that to me. I don't know how you do it every day. And I'm like, what? And he goes, the dogs and the birds and the house and the dishes and the cleaning and just keeping things organized around here and keeping everybody happy and fed. And he goes, I don't know how you do this every day. And all the birds, because we have a lot of chickens and ducks, and watering all the plants, because I'll give him a list. You have to water all these plants and feed the guinea pigs. And he's like, I don't know how you do this every day. And I'm like, well, I don't know how you do your job either. But that's why we have a good amount of respect for what each other does. We respect it. That's why we have a good marriage, and we're going on 26 years this year together. Like, our lives don't work without each other. That's a lot of pressure on him. But if I go out, if I start working more hours, if I worked 70 hours a week, this whole place would fall apart. Our whole lives would fall apart. It really would. We've done it in the past, and it was bad. It was really bad. When I was working as a trainer and a groomer, and I was working like some hours, like some weeks, like 60 hours a week, our relationship was like barely hanging on. It was on life support. And we were like, something's got to change. And luckily things changed and we worked through it because we both wanted the same things. But it was really hard. It was a really bad time. And all the money that I wasn't even making that much for how hard I was working. I was making like a few $100 a week. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I've worked 3 jobs in the past. Back when I was in Michigan, I was working 3 jobs most of the time. I don't think there's ever been a time I haven't worked 3 jobs until just the last several years. I was always working like 2 or 3 and doing like side gigs and side hustles and everything. So I'm 57 and I'm tired, y'all. I'm just looking at it going, I'm going to be 60 soon. And like, I can't keep going the way I'm going. Something has to, it's like something's got to give. Something's got to give. And I also, the pressure I'm putting on myself, I'm really trying to let things go. Like yesterday, all I did was read all day. I sat outside under an umbrella with the dogs and I read The Impossible Fortune by Richard. The Impossible Fortune, I think it is. Not Anne, I don't know. Richard Osman book, which I've had since it came out. I got a signed first edition, and I just kept putting it off. And I'm like, I'm going to read this. It's an easy read. I blew through it in less than 24 hours, which was awesome. But yesterday, my husband was working around the yard, and I told him, I'm not doing anything today. I'm taking the day off. I'm not doing anything. I didn't do dishes. I didn't leaf blow. I told him, I said, I'll do the leaf blowing for those storage boxes tomorrow. I'm not doing it today. That's why I did the hike on Saturday, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything on Sunday, and I don't want to have to edit a video, and I don't want to upload anything. So I did the hiking video. I did all that on Saturday, and I uploaded it Saturday night and scheduled it to go up Sunday. And I like forgot about it. I'm like, oh, that video went up, and that's when I noticed, like, oh, no views. Great. Why did I even bother? But I know a couple of you really liked the hike video, so I'm glad you liked it. Danny and Lori said they really liked it, and Janet, I know, like, Janet has a dog. Janet would probably love to hike these woods with her dog. Anyway, so the few people who liked it, I'm glad you liked it. I enjoyed making it. It was kind of fun. I was just talking to myself in the woods. I felt a little weird talking to myself walking around the woods. I really want to go out in the woods right now, today, and go walk around and look for more antlers in a place I didn't look yet, but it's 1 o'clock. It's 12:47. So, yeah, in a half hour, I have to leave and go get Lydia. That's why I'm not doing it. I'm just talking to you guys. There's no point in me starting anything because I can't finish anything. I'm like, I'm going to go hang out with the dogs for a half an hour, and I'll probably pop them in the car and take them to pick up Lydia with me just to go for a little family ride. And then I'm going to come home and then I can get some stuff done. But I wish I could just recorded makeup videos today because the sun is out. It's great lighting, but I can't because I have class tonight. I have to leave at 5:30. So I'll get home around 2 o'clock-ish. And then I have 3.5 hours before I have to go to class tonight with Prudence. And then I won't be back until 8:30 tonight. So between 5:30 and 8:30, I will be on the road driving and at class and driving home. So that's 3 hours I'll be in this car, or 1 hour in the class in between. So that'll be fun. I love it though. I love it. It's like, I look forward to it every week. I'm so happy. We have so much fun. So I super duper look forward to that. I do not look forward to these like piddly driving back and forth into town trips, and I felt so bad. Again, I felt so bad for Lydia. Oh my God. When I handed her over and I'm like, I'm so sorry. You only have to stay 2 hours today. She was just clinging to me and she was so upset. I'm like, this is so not fair. It's so not fair, but life's not fair, right? Should I title this Life's Not Fair? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I watch, I know comparison is the thief of joy, yada, yada, yada. But it's really hard to not compare yourself to what other people are doing. And I know people compare themselves to me, and I'm like, don't do that, because, I compare my life to other people. Like, I'll tell you, Adrian and I talk in DMs, and Adrian's like, I wish I had your life. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's not easy. It's exhausting. And most of the time I'm going, why the hell am I doing this to myself? What am I doing? So I've been trying this year to just simplify my life on every level. And I don't know what that means for my channel, because I'm beating myself up for not uploading. Every day, you guys, I beat myself up for not being Peter Mon, for not having multiple channels and uploading every day on multiple channels. I feel guilty that I don't do that. And nobody's doing that to me but me. But when I watch what he's doing, I'm like, I should be doing that. Why am I not doing that? I could do that. And then I'm like, okay, for one thing, I'm like 5 years older than him or something. And also, I have my own business and I have a job, and I dog sit for people that I don't always talk about because they're not part of my channel. They're not online. I have a lot of stuff I do that I don't talk about, like the Master Gardener things. I do Zoom meetings with them. There's a lot of stuff that I do that I don't talk about on here. So, the days that I'm dog grooming all day, and then I'm at night, instead of sitting down at night and sitting with my dogs and my husband, I go in my studio, or I go in my office, and I'm editing videos for the next day. Where most people would work all day and then they would spend the evening with their significant other and their dogs. I work all day grooming dogs, and then I go and I edit a video for 2 or 3 hours. My husband pops in my room and says, hey, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, okay, I'm almost done editing this, but it's probably another hour. Is that not, Peter would probably be mad at me. He's probably not watching this, but he would be mad at me for that. And I know he probably would. He'd be like, what are you even doing? I'm like, well, I feel guilty if I don't do this. I feel like I'm being lazy. And I know when he's saying influencers who don't upload, or it's the easiest job, why don't you do it? I know he's talking about like, a certain kind of influencer. We all know who he's talking about, who have millions of subscribers, but like Michaela going, try doing this for the day. It's so hard. It's like, girl, try being a dog groomer and having injuries and having your hand cut open and trying to take care of a house by yourself, 4 dogs, chickens, ducks, being a master gardener, running your own business, and trying to do social media. Try that for a day, because I guarantee Michaela could not live my life for 5 hours, let alone an entire day. And I think most people couldn't. And I will go to my grave saying that. My husband can't do it. My husband came in my salon once, and I said, hey, I handed him the clippers. I go, you want to try it? He goes, oh my God, no. And he went like this. He's like, no, that's terrifying. I go, how about the scissors? You want to hold the scissors? And he held, they're the super pointy long scissors that are like the 8-inchers. And he's like, oh my God, how do you even cut a dog with these and not like kill them and stab them to death? I'm like, it is a lot of experience, a lot of practice, and it's a professional career, and it is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart. I cut myself all the time. I cut my hands all the time because I would rather move my hand in front of a dog if they're moving and cut myself because I can handle it. I don't want to hurt someone's dog. So I have learned in 15 years, you learn how to move with a dog and move around a dog. And I also know if they're moving, I know how to hold their face so that I don't cut their tongue. I don't cut their lip. My thumb is the barrier. Like if I'm going around their lip, my thumb is here, or the way I'm holding them, so that if I'm going to cut something, it's going to be myself. And I have cut myself so many hundreds of times. There's one on my fingertip. I've cut myself so many hundreds of times in 15 years. I can't even tell you. I've needed stitches in the past. So it's not a job that's for anyone, and it's not easy. And the thing about being a dog groomer is nobody really talks about, it's physically exhausting. You're moving dogs that, I have 100-pound dogs that I groom. You're moving dogs that weigh a lot. You're holding them still. You're wrestling with them. You're on your feet, and you move in ways that most people don't move on a day-to-day. You get weird aches and pains. You're underneath the dog going like this, trying to shave under their you-know-what. You're lifting legs up and going like this. You move all different weird ways when you're a dog groomer. You do a lot of things that nobody else does with your body. It's just the way you move and the way you pivot around, and you have to be, the thing is, you have to be on your toes at every minute. So you're on high alert from the time that dog's on your table to the time you're done and you're walking them out. You're on high alert because you don't want anything bad to happen to someone else's dog. So the whole time your stress level is off the charts. But you can't be stressed because it makes the dog stressed. So you have to learn this balance where you're on high alert, but you're very calm. Try it. You're on high alert. You know who can do this? Probably like kindergarten teachers. Teachers are probably good at this, where you have to be on high alert at all times. You're watching for danger. You're watching for everything. You're prepared for any bad thing that is going to fly at you unexpected at any minute. But you don't want to cause a panic, so you have to remain very calm and very centered and be everyone's rock. That is what I do as a dog groomer, and it is freaking exhausting. It's exhausting, but that's also why I'm good at it. A good dog groomer can do that, and it's a talent I have. I'm not bragging about it. It's just, I don't know why I'm good at it, so that's how I make money, because I'm good at it. Not everybody can do that. If you can do it, make money with it, right? And I like grooming dogs. I love it. I was a hairdresser. I love creating styles. I love working with scissors. I specialize in hand scissor cuts. That's what I'm good at. That's why I'm a private groomer. It takes longer. A certain kind of person who likes a very particular style will come to me. I do not do what I call McGrooms, which is just shave them down, shave them down, shave them down. They all look the same. No, I'm a stylist more than anything. That's why I always say I'm a dog stylist. I am a specialist in hand scissor styles, like standard poodles and things like that. And that takes a lot of experience and a lot of time and a lot of talent with scissors, which I really got because I used to be a hairstylist. That's why I'm good with scissors and clippers. When I went to Grooming Academy, I just picked up scissors and clippers. I'm like, what are we doing? And then I saw people, I was telling my husband about this at dinner that day, that he wouldn't touch my scissors and clippers. He's like, no, I'm scared. I told him, I said, it was so weird the first day I went into Grooming Academy, and she's like, okay, pick up your scissors. And she had to show everyone how to hold scissors properly. I'm holding my scissors. I'm like, what? And I'm watching everyone in the room who has never held scissors or clippers like in their life to like groom some, to do a haircut with or anything. I'm like, wow, this is weird. I feel like I'm on a different planet. Does nobody know how to hold scissors and clippers to groom a dog? Like, because I did it with people for so long. So it comes so naturally to me, because I started cutting hair back when I was like 13 or 14 years old. I cut all my friends' hair. I cut my mom's hair. I cut my dad's hair. My dad and my mom would not go to a salon. They made me always do their hair because I was good at it. And that's how and then all my friends, like I had friends in high school, and every guy I dated gave them haircuts. It was a thing. So I started, 13, 14 years old. I started giving my mom and dad haircuts, and my friends. And it just kind of went on from there. And I was always cutting somebody's hair at the house. And then I finally went to Grooming Academy. I finally went to cosmetology school. 91 or 92 or something. Graduated in the beginning of 93. I was in school a long time because, like I said, I didn't just do hair. I did esthetician, nail tech, hairstylist, and makeup. So I said that in a different vlog. I was tested for all of those at state board. So when all the hairstylists were done taking their state board tests, I still had to take my esthetician test. Then the estheticians were done. I still had to take the nail test. The nail people came in, did one test for nails and left. Then I had to do the makeup thing. I'm like, oh my God, why do I do this to myself? But that's me. That's just who I am. I am an overachiever and I'm a workaholic. That's the problem. And I don't know how to stop, and I don't really know how to sit still. So like yesterday, I forced myself to read a book all day. That's another reason I started reading so much. I know this was really heavy and this was a lot. Believe me, I'm not unhappy. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy. I know this sounded like blah, 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 but things are fine. I'm going to just keep on keeping on and doing what I'm doing. These are things I think about. So I figured I'd share them. See if you think about them too. If you're not a bot, comment something below that a real person would say. I'm just popping on right here to say I picked up Lydia. It is now 2:17. So dropping her off, I waited for 30 minutes dropping her off, and then I had to wait another almost half an hour to pick her up. So yeah, I lost another hour out of my day just sitting in the waiting room. So 3 hours total for this vet escapade. And it'll be 3 hours tonight for the dog grooming. So 6 hours out of my day today in my car, a waiting room, or a class. Now, I love the class. The class, 1 hour class with Prudence is worth the 1 hour drive. I don't mind it. I mean, 1 hour there, 1 hour class, 1 hour drive home. I totally don't mind. I love it. It's probably my happiest time of the week and my happiest day of the week is when I'm in a ring, like training with the dog. I love it. It's my soul. Anyway, Lydia's in the car. We should get her blood results back on Wednesday, and we will find out what happens. And I just wanted to pop in though and tell you, because I did say that Cushing's disease, I can understand how if somebody has a dog that has Cushing's and they can't afford it, the medication has to be specially formulated for them. And it's very particular. It's not a general like medication they just have and it's like, here it is, and they just give it to you. They have to send all the results to the lab, and then it's formulated for your dogs. That was weird. Okay, I was talking away and the phone rang, and it was Jeremy because he said he was going to call me. He is not working today, but he is doing a bunch of work outside. So Jeremy was just saying, I was telling him my dilemma of, I texted him and I said, the vibes are off, dude. I don't know what's going on today, but the vibes are off. So I got a Fanta orange. Okay, it tastes weird. Then again, I never drink orange Fanta. So why did I say Fanta orange? It's an orange Fanta. I was thirsty, but I had to get gas at Wawa so that I don't have to stop later. Lydia's in the car still, but she's pretty chill. She's just sitting here in the crate. To get gas, it's like off the path. It's about 10 minutes off the path to the way that I go to Prudence's class. So I'm like, you know what? Future me and at 5:30 today will thank me for going and getting gas now, because I won't be like leaving my house going, oh shit, and I have to get gas. I knew this day sucked. Anyway, Jeremy called me and I was telling him the vibes were off, and he goes, well, you know what you do? And I'm like, what? And he goes, well, you have to just disperse the vibes. And I'm like, to which I said, oh, I'm sorry, my aerosol can of bad vibe disperser just ran out. Honestly, though, I'm like, what do you mean disperse the vibes? I have to turn my air off. Now I'm cold. It's that weird time when it's like you're either too warm or too cold. And you can't figure out what the hell to do. It's like your heat is on at night and your air is on in the daytime. That's the season we're in the Poconos right now. Heat at night, air in the daytime. Anyway, so he goes, no, just talk about it. Talking about the vibes being off takes their power away. So just disperse the vibes by saying, these vibes suck. He goes, they have no power over you if you just recognize them and say the vibes are weird and just remove the bad vibes. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm telling you the vibes are off and I'm trying to remove the bad vibes. And to remove the bad vibes, I talked to Jeremy for a little bit. And we talked about what I talked about earlier. I told him I did this video today. And I was like, dude, I was talking about your dead internet theory thing and how there's just, I don't know where everyone is. And I know this, but Jeremy's like, well, what happens on YouTube and all social media? He's like, the first nice day, that's like a spring day, and it's Palm Sunday, it's a week before Easter, and everybody's in spring break and all that stuff. People are out doing stuff. So of course people aren't all like watching YouTube on Sunday because it's the first nice day in a lot of places. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, because it's not just me. Everybody's views were shit yesterday. And mine still are. So whatever. I think people just don't like me, and that's fine. So we talked about how Jeremy's a knife maker. He makes knives as a hobby. Jeremy doesn't sell his knives. People have asked. He goes, I'm not starting a knife shop. I'm not going to start selling them online. I don't make knives to sell them. I make knives because I enjoy the creative process of making knives. And he makes beautiful knives. I mean, he could literally, he could make so much money selling all his knives, especially with how many he has now. He's just got boxes of them everywhere. He could probably make so much money selling knives, but he doesn't care, and that's not why he does it. And I'm like, well, even though that's not why you do it, you can still sell them and make some money back for your materials and stuff, whatever. But I guess making it a business takes the creativity and the fun out of it for him. That's kind of how I feel about this. I feel like if YouTube was my job, it would take so much of the creativity and the fun out of it for me. Because look at it like this. It's not even my job right now. And I drive myself crazy about it. That I don't post enough. That I'm not doing enough. That, I don't know, people don't like this. I don't know what they want from me. I don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm not doing it as a job. Imagine what my personality and what I would be like if this was my job. Number one, I'd be insufferable. I wouldn't want to be around me, let alone nobody else would want to be around me. Number two, it would take all the fun out of it, and then I would want to do it. The only reason I like doing this is because it's fun and I can do what I want. If I do what I want and it's fun, that's awesome. But if I start feeling pressured, like I have to do it as a job, then that's the fun gone out of it, and I don't want to do it. The thing I like about being a doggy stylist is I love doing it as a job. I get paid what I believe I deserve to be paid for doing it because I'm my own boss, so I charge what I want and I get paid that. People will pay me that much because of my experience, which is great. Took a long time, took 15 years to build up the experience and the knowledge and the skill and the clientele to say this is my job and I love doing it, blah, blah, blah. And I like that it's my job because I get to be creative at it. You can't help but be creative when you're doing scissor cuts on poodles and things like that. It's just really cool. And I never get tired of it. So, and I get paid for it. So I love all that. So that I will keep doing as my job. But I feel like social media stuff, and now I think I understand where, look, I always knock the Michaela try being a social media influencer for a day thing, and I always knock her and make fun of that. But I kind of see what she's saying. And because the pressure, if you are a big influencer, the pressure that not just the internet and your viewers and brands and stuff put on you, but the pressure you put on yourself. And Smokey Glow was one who really talked about this. Smokey Glow was very open like 4 years ago or something, I think now, about the pressure that she would put on herself to try to upload content and try to stay relevant and all this stuff. And she's like, she just couldn't do it anymore, and I respect her for that. And I think that's probably the healthiest thing she could have done. Like, why would you keep doing something so unhealthy to yourself? That said, with this, I will stop putting pressure on myself. I have to. I'm really trying. It's hard not to, though. And I don't know if that means I can't watch other channels and I need to take a break from watching other people's videos for a while. I'll just put my content up and then maybe watch a couple of things that I like vlogs or something. I don't know. Like, I love watching Do We Know Them? I don't know, Lily and Jesse. I've watched every episode since their very first one. I was Team Jessie back when all the drama with Gabby, Hannah, and Jessie first started. I knew who Jessie was way, way, way back then and everything. So when she started the podcast with Jessie, with Lily, I knew about it before the first episode even went up. I knew when they were talking about it and announcing when it's going to be up and blah, blah, blah. And I watched the first one. I watched the episodes that aren't even up anymore. There's one I know that got taken down. They took down or something. I watched their lives when they did the lives from when they did Deaf Noodles Comedy Club, and they did a live like roasting it. Oh my God, it was so good. I have seen every single one of their episodes. I am an OG Do We Know Them person. And I like watching them, and they always kind of just take my mind off of everything. And Lily makes me laugh, and Jessie makes me laugh. Lily really makes me laugh. I love her. So, and Jessie is just such an interesting person, and the way they see things like the same but differently, it's everything about it is great. And most of the time they're talking about shit I have no idea what it is, because I am not on TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I don't plan on it. So it's interesting to watch all these things going on over in TikTok land that I have no part of, don't know who these people are. Some of them I know from just hearing from other YouTubers talk about them, but for the most part, a lot of the stories and the dramas and all this stuff, I'm like, I have no idea who this person is, and I don't care. And really, the only reason I'm like listening to it is just entertainment. And sometimes I go, did I need to know who this person is? No. But most of the time it's entertaining. And they did cover a lot of heavy stuff, but lately they've kept it pretty light. And they've been kind of keeping things lighter and goofy stories about hair salons and bakers and all this weird drama, this really niche drama that I love because it's not big, and some of these people only have small followings. Like one person only had like, a few hundred followers, but the drama blew up so big that their videos had like millions of views. It was just weird. Like, but when they started, they were like nobody, but they did a review of something and then it just blew up. So in that case, like that's really fun to listen to, and I just listen to them while I'm like cleaning my room or whatever, or putting laundry away or something. But for the most part, I think most content, and even on Instagram, I think I need to detox for a week, because the last week I just put so much pressure on myself. Like, I'm not uploading enough, and I need to do every day. I need to do every day, blah, 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 blah. And I do all that, and then it's like I'm frustrated. I don't feel better. I don't feel like I'm proud of what I put up. Like the makeup videos I did last week, I'm so proud of, and I love them. That's what I want to continue to do. I want to do more of that. But if I'm miserable about it and I'm having like stress about it, then why? So we're going to try to keep it fun and light. And I'm going to upload when I upload. And I said I was done, and now I'm really done because I am home. I'm home with the lady. And they finally picked up my recycling, which is nice. Okay, I'm in my driveway. You know what time it is. It is time for me to not run over my husband's spotlight that is on the house. Oh my God, yesterday he's out here and he picked up the orange stick. So I have one of those orange sticks and I put it right next to the light. And I looked, I'm like, where's the stick? And he's like, it's in the garage. And I go, no, you can't move the stick. The stick is how I don't run over your light, because that orange stick is sticking out right in front of where the light is. Except it's black, and I can't see the black light on the black rocks, even in my rear view camera thing. I'm like, you need to keep the stick there. Otherwise, I'm running over your light. And he goes, okay, put the stick back, put the stick back. So the stick is back. Anyway, so Jeremy was saying, just do what I feel. He goes, don't do it for any reason other than a creative outlet then. So that is what I'm doing. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit over here. Thanks for watching. And now I'm going to go in. I'm going to have something to eat, get Lydia settled in. I got a few things to do, and I have to leave in 2.5 hours to go to Prudence's class. I got a lot to do in that time. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm filming. If I film anything, I may take the day off tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Wednesday and Thursday is supposed to be makeup collabs. I may film one of the makeup collabs, like Wednesdays tomorrow and Thursdays on Wednesday, and then I can, I don't know. I mostly want to get those videos edited that are just sitting in my iMovie. I have like 4 or 5 that are just sitting there that I filmed, and I have to edit them so I can put them up. It's like I have a week's worth of content, but it's sitting in my iMovie because it takes me forever to edit some of this crap. So I got to do that. I like doing that when my husband's at work all day because then I'm not missing out time with him. So, or I do it after he goes to sleep at night, but then I don't get any sleep. So that's just kind of a no-win situation. Anyway, I am having a better day now that I talked to Jeremy. We are repairing the vibes. We are shooing the vibes out. We are rolling the windows down, and we are letting the bad vibes out. Disperse with you. Be gone with you, bad vibes. So if you're having bad vibes, my friend Jeremy's advice is just disperse the bad vibes. Call somebody or a friend or a family member and say, dude, are the vibes off today? The vibes are off. And then talk about it, and then just go, let's reset the vibes and start over. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I'm trying to make it work. So I do feel better, and talking to Jeremy always cheers me up anyway. So I will see you again later. This is going to be the world's longest vlog today, and I don't care because I do what I want. That's the new motto of my channel. I do what I want. That is a loud truck. Okay. And my hair's in my mouth. Bye.